Next, I want to talk about the structure of documents compared to the structure of presentations. Here's a document. Let's say it's an MSF document, a report. The impact of AIDS in Sub-Saharan Africa, 2000 to 2012. This has 250 pages. Okay? This is the cover. Okay? So you have the cover. You open the cover, what's the first thing you find? Index. Index in English, I don't know, in index, in Spanish they say index, but in English, index is at the end. You have the, so the index is at the end. We said contents, no? The contents. After the contents, introduction. Sometimes you have an executive summary, no? Or an abstract, or we give say an abstract. Then you have introduction. After the introduction, chapter 1. Okay, you have the chapters. But after the introduction, before the chapters, you would have maybe a background. No, introduction, background. Yeah? Sometimes background. You have the chapters or the sections. Then you have what? Conclusions. Recommendations. Then the index and
abbreviations.
Acronyms. Acronyms. Index is when you with the word and the page. So McCarthy. Bibliography. Annex. Okay. More or less, yeah? This is the structure. So, imagine now you have a presentation to make. 40 minutes. Impact of AIDS in Sub-Saharan Africa. You have the report, you wrote the report. And now you're asked to make a presentation. Would you use the report to help you make the presentation? Obviously, yes. No, you would take you have a report and you would use it to help you make the presentation. I'm not saying you would, but you would use it to help you. Which sections of the report would you use or even include in your presentation?
Abstract recommendations.
Would you use the abstract in your presentation?
To prepare the presentation.
Well, to prepare the presentation, use everything, no? But to include pieces of
Okay.
The introduction.
introduction,
Cover.
sorry, the cover. So the cover, no. The contents. It's nice English. Okay, maybe cover. The contents. Yeah. Reduced, but yes. Okay. The abstract. When you make a presentation, do you give an abstract of your presentation at the beginning? In 30 minutes? Yes? Do presentations come with abstracts, like spoken abstracts? No. No. You give the introduction, background.
Yes.
Chapters and sections, yeah, you'd use pieces from chapters and sections, no? Conclusions? Recommendations? Bibliography? Not necessarily.
Because you are going to give the report.
Sorry?
You can refer to the report.
The report will be the bibliography.
No.
But in the presentation,
The report.
40 minutes.
No.
Maybe that report is the continuation of another important report that you want to give reference to that.
No, your presentation is Impact on AIDS in Sahara 2000-2012. Biography, no. Yes, some people say yes. Would you put in it?
No.
But if you have to present a PhD thesis, you should include the main resources, but not in the case of a presentation.
But it's in the thesis. It's in the thesis.
Defense of a thesis is a funny one.
Yeah, exactly. But now,
Do you put a slide with the bibliography in your presentation? No. Do you use the index? No. Acronyms.
no.
Do you need to explain them in your presentation? Do you use them in your presentation?
But
What we
not-
do-
not use it.
But we use it. We say all the time NSF, but we know that what is NSF.
Depending on your public.
Exactly.
Depending on your public. If you're speaking to NSF people, you say NSF. If you're speaking to university students, say Médicos Sin Fronteras, because maybe NSF they don't relax.
But we don't.
And the annex, you don't put an annex in. Okay. Do you follow? Okay, so now we have these pieces. Fine. Do you follow the order? Do you follow this order? Do you begin with the introduction and background? Do you then put the chapters? Do you then draw your conclusions?
This is something that I normally put, maybe it's good, which is the objective of the presentation.
Well, this is the paper.
No,
This is the report. This is the structure of the report.
I was thinking you were talking about that.
No, sorry. This is the structure of the report. And I'm saying, which do you use in a presentation? So the question now is, these are the pieces you use. Do you use them in this order? Do you start with contents? Then do you do introduction, background? Then you take the information from the chapters and then you make your conclusions. You follow this order more or less? No.
No. Maybe you can start by the introduction.
The presentation that you see, does it follow these order? Does it follow this order?
Depends on the audience, no? The knowledge they have about the
Okay, but that's another, I'm talking just about the order of the sections. Do presentations start with introduction, then they have information data, and then they have conclusions? Of course, but in the presentations you see, okay, the presentations I see, they follow this order of events. They introduce, they give data, they make their conclusions at the end. Many presentations follow that order.
But there are others who can start with the conclusions directly to draw the attention and then go.
And that's what I'm going to speak about now. Okay? But this is the problem. First outlining the problem is following this order. Following this order, this is the order. The order of an article, of a journal article, of a report is general to particular to general. The introduction, then you have the body, which is the chapters, and then you have the discussion of an article, of a text. Let me show you a graph about audience attention during presentations. On the vertical axis you have attention, on the horizontal axis you have time. At the beginning of presentations, audiences are they give attention. Then very quickly they go to sleep, then they sleep, and then they wake up just before the end. Do you recognize this graph? This phenomenon? I'm joking a little bit, but I'm not joking also. This is a problem in presentations. If you impose structure, if you use the structure of a paper, of a text in a presentation, it has this effect. People will be awake during the general overall outlook. They go to sleep for the details and for the information. Why? Because as we spoke about in the morning, presentations are not for giving details, information. And then they wake up when the speaker offers their opinion. Oh, an opinion, an argument. But this part, they go to sleep. Because presentations are not for receiving information. They're for being persuaded. Okay? So, what I'm going to talk about is how to overcome audiences going to sleep. How to keep them awake during your presentation. Okay?
Una solution would be say the conclusion at the beginning.
Say the conclusion at the beginning, and then give your details at the end.
No, and then give the details and repeat the conclusions. You will explain us.
But they still go to sleep in the middle.
Huh?
They will still sleep in the middle.
Ah, the trick is there.
The trick is not that they don't go to sleep.
Ah, okay, okay, okay.